Hello viewers, I am Mr. Dilip Kumar Pal, stand before you with a topic, net zero. So far as net zero is concerned, in this video, three aspects of net zero have been focused, like meaning of net zero, methods to achieve net zero, and benefits of net zero. And this net zero concept is found in +3 6th semester ethics and value paper, and the name of the paper is environmental and techno-ethics. But before I discuss what is net zero, methods to achieve, and its benefit, I want to intimate my viewers that my channel name is @Dilip Kumar Pal 9375. Never forget. And in this channel, you will find +2 first year to +2 second year political science videos, both English and ODI. And so far as +3 section is concerned, from +3 first semester to 6th semester, ethics and value, as well as political science honors. From +3 first semester to second semester, political science general elective, and environmental studies video of +3 first semester is found. I suggest my viewers that any video on any topic you want, just write my name Dilip Kumar Pal and the name of the topic in Google or YouTube. You'll get bilingual videos in English and ODI. Any video you will find in English, be sure its ODI version is also in the channel. And any video you will find in ODI, be sure its English version is also in the channel. Let us start. Net zero. We'll discuss first of all meaning of net zero, methods to achieve, and benefits. So what is net zero? In the field of environmental protection and environmental balance, net zero concept is a vital concept. In the field of environmental balance and environmental protection, net zero concept is a very vital concept. It is considered as a vital mean to control climate change, growing Earth's temperature, which is now 1.1 degrees Celsius, higher than the Earth's temperature in late 1980s, and carbon neutrality. Net zero concept is a vital concept for environmental protection and environmental balance. It is considered as a vital mean to control climate change, to control temperature of the earth, which is now 1.1 degree Celsius higher than the temperature of the earth in the late 1980s. And it is also considered as a vital mean for carbon neutrality. So net zero concept is a vital concept. So what is a net zero concept? Meaning of net zero. What is net zero? Net zero concept means when the amount of carbon released into the atmosphere is equal to the amount of carbon removed from the atmosphere. Net zero concept means when the amount of carbon released into the atmosphere is equal to the amount of carbon removed from the atmosphere. It means as much carbon is deposited in the atmosphere by human activities, mainly burning fossil fuels, steps will be taken to remove so much carbon from atmosphere by some steps like use of renewable energies, eating less meat, driving less, planting trees, etc. It is known as net zero. So net zero concept means the amount of or the quantity of carbon is released into the atmosphere by different ways, mainly by burning fossil fuels like burning fossil fuels or like burning petrol diesel. The same quantity of carbon will be removed from the atmosphere. So the total will be zero. So net zero concept means the total quantity of carbon is released into the atmosphere by different means, mainly by burning fossil fuels. So much carbon will be removed from the atmosphere by different means, like using of renewable energy, planting trees, using energy efficient appliances. So the amount of carbon which is deposited, by net zero concept means the quantity of carbon which is released into the atmosphere, the same quantity of carbon will be removed from the atmosphere, so the total will be zero. So it is known as the net zero concept. So we are clear about the meaning of net zero concept. Now discuss methods to achieve net zero. How will achieve net zero? Number one, reduce emissions. There are various methods for net zero or carbon neutrality. Number one, reduce emissions. Emission of carbon can be reduced by using less energy, driving less, and eating less meat. The first mean for net zero is to reduce emissions. Emission of carbon will be reduced. By this, the net zero will be achieved. Emission of carbon can be reduced by using less energy, driving less, eating less meat. So the first method by which net zero will be achieved is to reduce emissions. By reducing emissions of carbon by means of using less energy, driving less, and eating less meat can reduce carbon emissions. Because meat production, so someone will ask how meat production influences carbon emission? How by a less meat production carbon emission can be reduced? Because meat production requires excessive grasslands. By more meat, there will be more carbon emissions, because meat production requires excessive grasslands, which is often created by cutting down trees. For more meat production, more grasslands are required for animals. For more grasslands, cutting of trees is a main. By cutting down trees, CO2 gas stored in trunks, branches, leaves, and roots of trees are released back to the atmosphere. For meat production, to increase meat production, or for meat production, excessive grasslands are necessary. For excessive grasslands, more cutting of trees will be made. If there will be more cutting of trees, then CO2 gas, which is deposited in the trunk, branches, roots, leaves of trees, will be released to the atmosphere. So the first method to control carbon emission, to reduce carbon emission, is to use less energy, use a less meat, and driving less. Then second one, to reduce carbon emission or for net zero, second method is use of renewable energy. Renewable energies like solar power, wind power, tide power, hydropower must be used. For net zero, to reduce carbon emissions, renewable energies must be used like tide power, solar power, tidal power and hydropower. Number 3, transition to energy efficiency. Energy efficient appliances must be used to reduce use of energy. Another method for net zero is transition to energy efficiency. Means energy efficient appliances will be used for net zero concept. Number 4, invest in carbon offset projects. For net zero or to reduce carbon, another method is invest in carbon offset projects. What it is? Invest in carbon offset projects mean activities that reduce, remove or avoid greenhouse emissions like reforestation, renewable energies and improved forest management. Another method for net zero concept, another method to achieve net zero or carbon neutrality is to make investment in carbon offset projects. Carbon offset project means activities that reduce, remove or avoid greenhouse emissions like reforestation, renewable energies, improved forest management. So for net zero, to achieve net zero or carbon neutrality, investment will be made to reduce, remove and avoid greenhouse gases. So investment will be made to reduce, remove carbon dioxide from the atmosphere by means of reforestation, renewable energies and improved forest management. So for to achieve net zero, investment must be made in those fields where quantity of carbon will be removed, will be reduced, like reforestation, use of renewable energies and improved forest management. So we are clear about the meaning of net zero and methods to achieve net zero. Now discuss benefits of net zero. If net zero will be achieved, what will be the benefits? Number 1, control climate change. By net zero or carbon neutrality, climate change will be controlled. The first benefit of net zero is that by net zero, by carbon neutrality, climate change will be controlled. Number 2, improves air quality. By net zero, air quality can be improved. By net zero or carbon neutrality, air quality will be improved. Number 3, control temperature. Net zero control temperature in Earth. By net zero concept, carbon neutrality, temperature in Earth can be controlled. Then 4th, job creation. By net zero concept, job creation will be made. How? Expansion of renewable energy sectors create more jobs opportunity. In order to achieve net zero, there must be investment in renewable energy field. When there will be investment in or expansion, there will be investment in expansion of renewable sectors, then more new jobs will be created. Finally, rise in food production. Another benefit of net zero concept is rise in food production. Due to control of climate change, food production can be increased. By net zero, climate change will be controlled. If climate change will be controlled, then food production will be increased. So in this video we have discussed meaning of net zero, methods to achieve it and its benefits. So I request my viewers to subscribe my channel so new videos will come to you. But the most important thing is, please aware of your friends, those who are in +2 or +3 about this channel, so some students will be benefited. I have already told to you, a little benefit, a little help to anybody, it is a mean to make our life a worthy one. Thank you. Have a good day.